Who am I from? Toastmasters people, give him a big round of applause. And now, we have a chance to listen to the second speaker. She is our area director. And I would like to invite her personal evaluator to read the purpose statement.
For the project number 2 of our second speaker, she will deliver on the second project, and the objective is the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. Purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. I think you can make it.
She will deliver the title, Simon, 5 to 7 minutes. When spend 5 minutes, the green sign will be shown. 6 minutes, yellow sign will be shown, and 7 minutes, other sign will be shown. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Fair, Simon.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters, could we have lunch?
Yes.
Yeah, I can talk about any topic, so let's continue on this route of food. So today I'm going to talk about what she said my title was, salmon, which some Thai people call salmon because of the L, but it's actually not pronounced at all in English, and I think my theory is just because the English don't want to spell it like the French with the U, so they changed it to an L, but you don't pronounce the L. Anyway, so who here really likes salmon? Raise your hands. That's more than 50%. Thank you very much for your honesty. So do you guys know where your salmon comes from? No? Any guess?
Norway.
Norway? Anywhere else? Japan? 7-Eleven is the best answer. Thank you. Thank you, Division Director Vincent. That is the correct answer for my particular speech. Think about it. It's in 7-Eleven. What do you older people know about salmon back in the day? Did it used to be like this in 7-Eleven? Any ideas? How was it back in your days? Like 10 years ago, when you were only 20?
One branch.
Only one branch of what? No, I mean salmon. Like, did we have salmon in 7-Eleven?
No.
10 years ago? No. Okay, what about like a long time ago? Did Thai people have a lot of access to salmon? No. Why not? It was really expensive. Why was it expensive? Imported and what? Natural. It was natural, exactly. It was wild salmon, right? And it's only in some parts of the world. Okay, so it wasn't everywhere, but now it's everywhere. Now it's like at every 7-Eleven, and we have, a 7-Eleven every 50 meters or less in Bangkok. So what is up with that? How is that possible? How did we get salmon into 7-Eleven so much?
They cultured them, right?
Yes, that's right. They do. They culture them where?
Bangkok they have, but here in yes, right? Here are university.
Really? Do they have a salmon farm?
No, not really.
No. I'd love to visit. Okay. Well, the simple answer is because they've driven down the cost so much. That's why we can afford it everywhere, even in 7-Eleven. Okay. So how did we change from being like really hard to get wild salmon to like really expensive to really cheap and being ubiquitous, being everywhere? Because of the farming, right? And so let's talk about the farming today because we love the taste of the salmon today so much. But maybe we should find out a little bit where it comes from now that it's so cheap, right? So a lot of the salmon that you're eating in Thailand is actually not really pink, it's colored. Sorry to burst your bubble. That's the first thing, but that's the least of the worries, okay? The biggest worry is that because it's farmed in the ocean, but they're contained cages, really huge cages, where they farm these salmon in the ocean, and they have to feed them a lot of fish meal or little fish. So they bring in all the other fish from the ocean, a lot of it, because there's so many farms, and they feed it to the salmon, right? And they get really fat, and they don't move around anywhere. They're in that prison condo in the ocean. And there's a lot of pollution, because when you're in a condo in a confined space, what happens? You get sick easier, right? So they have to use a lot of antibiotics, right? And then the salmon ends up getting a lot of heavy metals as well, because our oceans are not exactly as pure as anymore as before, because of all the things that we're putting into the ocean to do these farming methods, massive scale, okay? And we're using so much fish that we're ruining the ecosystems of the oceans. So think about that. It's gonna affect your health because of the chemicals, the antibiotics, the heavy metals. It's really bad for pregnant women. So if you have friends who are pregnant, please ask them to reconsider that sashimi or that grilled salmon for dinner or lunch, or even the burger in 7-Eleven. So I don't want to scare you with this talk, but this is just to get us thinking about, everyday things that we can be more aware of, because I work in sustainability management, and that's something very difficult to understand. And one really good example is where our salmon comes from, okay? So you can still get wild salmon that is still quite expensive, but you can only get it in specific places, right? So that's something for you to think about. Do we want to keep eating something that is really cheap, but it's got all this stuff that we don't want to consume, and then we're making a lot of profit from it, but what about our health, and what about the environment? So that's just something that I want to leave you with. Of course, it's your choice, your health, but again, it is our oceans and our planet. Thank you very much, Toastmasters today.
And you already know about salmon, but not salmon, salmon. And it's now the time to listen our personal evaluator to evaluate our